मानना है कि अ, मुझे खुद को ही खत्म करना बेस्ट है मेरे लिए, क्योंकि जो मैं पैसे कमा रहा हूँ उसी से मैं अपने दुश्मन को बलवान बना रहा हूँ। वही पैसे मुझे ही बर्बाद करने के लिए यूज हो रहे हैं, और ये साइकिल बढ़ता ही रहेगा, है ना। मेरे ही टैक्सेस के पैसे से ये कोर्ट, ये पुलिस सिस्टम मुझे और मेरी फैमिली को और बाकी लोगों को भी हैरास करेगा जो अच्छे लोग हैं। तो जो सप्लाई है वैल्यू का, उसी को खत्म कर देना चाहिए। और एनीवे gave me a suggestion क्या they told me to commit suicide, and I think they're right. That's the right solution what they've suggested me. So I'm gonna take my life now.
Hey everyone, if you're tired of legal loopholes and the injustices they create, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving deep into a case that has sparked a nationwide debate and calls for a significant change in our legal system. The Atul Subhash case has become a symbol of the urgent need for gender-neutral laws in India. It's a story that has touched many hearts and raised important questions about fairness and equality in our legal system.
The tragic death of Atul Subhash, who was a Bengaluru-based tech professional, has shaken the nation. Atul's suicide, detailed in a heart-wrenching 24-page note and a 90-minute video, which highlighted his struggles and alleged harassment at the hands of his estranged wife Nikita Singhania and her family. Now this case has reopened a crucial debate. Do our laws protect everyone, irrespective of their gender? Hello and welcome. Today we'll dive deep into the Atul Subhash case, what happened, where the investigation stands, and why this incident has reignited conversation about gender-neutral laws in India. Do ensure that you watch the full video. What is this case? Atul Subhash, a 34-year-old tech professional, was found dead in his Bengaluru apartment on December 15, 2024. In his note, he claimed that he was driven to suicide due to relentless harassment by his wife Nikita, her family, and a string of legal cases filed against him. He accused them of using the legal system to coerce and humiliate him. This included allegations of domestic violence and dowry harassment under Section 498A of the IPC. Swiftly, the Bengaluru police arrested Nikita Singhania, her mother Nisha, and her brother Anurag. They were found hiding in Gurugram and Allahabad, and charges of abetment to suicide under Section 306 of IPC have been levelled against them. This case has sparked outrage and calls for systematic legal reforms. Many laws addressing domestic violence, dowry harassment, and sexual offences are designed with the assumption that the perpetrator is male and the victim is always female. For example, Section 498A of IPC, it protects women from cruelty by their husband or his family. Section 354 of IPC, which addresses sexual harassment but primarily focuses on female victims. And even Domestic Violence Act of 2005, which provides relief to women but does not explicitly address male or LGBTQIA victims. Now, while these laws are essential to protect women from societal injustices, they often overlook cases where men or individuals from other genders are victims of similar abuse. Gender-neutral laws are not about diluting protections for women, but about extending those protections to anyone who may be a victim of abuse or harassment. For instance, the POCSO Act, which is known as the Protection of Child from Sexual Offences Act, is a very good example of a gender-neutral law in India. Now, cases like Atul Subhash highlight the potential misuse of gender-specific laws. This does not mean we scrap these laws, but we must ensure they are fair and cannot be weaponized against any gender. Activists and organizations are now calling for reforms to include male victims and other gender minorities under the protective umbrella of the law. Even globally, several countries have already embraced gender-neutral laws. Let's take example of United Kingdom. Domestic abuse laws apply to all genders in that country. Australia, wherein gender-neutral protections under its Family Law Act are included. And even Canada, wherein comprehensive protections against spousal abuse are present for all individuals. India can draw inspiration from these models to create a more inclusive legal framework. What do we need to change? So basically, the road to reform includes several key steps. First of all, amending the gender specific laws. That is, we must include provisions for male and even the LGBTQIA victims in laws like IPC of Section 498A and even the Domestic Violence Act. Awareness must be increased. Basically, education of law enforcement and judiciary about gender neutral perspectives to prevent bias. Thirdly, prevention of misuse of laws by ensuring penalties for filing of false case, which is a very big issue in our country today. And the last step, one can establish counseling and helplines for males and other marginalized victims as well.
Support systems and resources for victims are equally important. Providing counseling, legal aid, and other forms of support can help individuals who are suffering from abuse and harassment to rebuild their lives. Right now, the police are still looking into Atul's case, and his wife and her family are in jail. This ongoing investigation will hopefully bring justice to Atul and highlight the need for legal reforms. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for future legal reforms and pave the way for a more inclusive and fair legal system in India. It's a critical moment that could lead to significant changes in how we approach issues of abuse and harassment. This case could be a big turning point for how laws are made in India. It's an opportunity to create a legal system that is more balanced and just, ensuring that everyone receives the protection and support they need. Lawmakers and legal experts are now debating the need for gender-neutral laws, and there is a growing consensus that change is necessary. This is a pivotal moment that could lead to meaningful reforms and a more equitable legal system. Really, Atul's case is about fairness. It's about making sure everyone is protected, no matter if they're a man, woman, or something else. It's about creating a legal system that is just and equitable for all. Let's make a fair world for everyone. By advocating for gender-neutral laws, we can create a society where everyone feels safe and protected, regardless of their gender or identity. It's about making sure everyone is protected, no matter if they're a man, woman, or something else. Let's work together to create a legal system that is fair and just for all. Let's make a fair world for everyone. Let's ask for laws that protect everyone, ensuring that no one is left vulnerable or without support. Let's ask for laws that protect everyone. By coming together and advocating for change, we can create a more just and equitable society.
Last thing I would like to add is that justice should know no gender. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do share this video to spread awareness and keep the conversation alive, unlike many other cases. And together we can build a more inclusive legal system. Do comment down your views upon this case and about gender neutral laws in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Keep following the Law Snacks.